Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. And today in our Tech News Update, we have the net neutrality repeal that is in its 60 days before it officially is gone. Well, basically, it's very interesting because more and more Senate members are actually convinced that something needs to be done. And now we know that a vote is official, and there's more and more people that are kind of opening their eyes about this, which makes an interesting outlook for the vote that will happen that could actually cancel the net neutrality repeal, which is interesting. So we're going to have to take a good look at this, but it seems that more and more people around the United States are actually focused on making sure net neutrality lives. AMD had a chip unveiled at CES, well, a series of chips, and it's the first ones with the Vega integrated graphics chip. Vega is the graphics chip that is, of course, the own AMD graphics GPUs. Now, unfortunately, even if the first accounts seem to say that the graphics are lacking in performance, it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they'll, try to make it better eventually. Patch Tuesday upon us today, and that means that there's going to be fixes for Meltdown Inspector in Windows 7, 8.1, and of course there's some Windows 10 update, but that one's already available for most people, but there are some people that are having problems, and we'll talk about that a little later in the news bulletin. But apart from that, today at 1 p.m. Eastern, that's 1800 hours Universal Time, the Windows update for Patch Tuesday should roll out. I'll have a video, of course, today of what's in there in the Patch Tuesday updates. Interesting, Microsoft stopped accepting Bitcoins yesterday morning because the high volatility of the currency was kind of driving, and it's driving a lot of companies crazy. But the problem is, it came back. And so maybe they thought it was a good idea, and then they thought it was a bad idea. I don't know. Kind of interesting. AMD, more and more people with PCs with AMD CPUs are saying that the latest update to fix the Spectre security flaw are unable to boot. And of course, the only real fix if you're stuck with a unbootable machine is to reinstall Windows. Now, Microsoft was looking at the issue, and they say that the problem is that they have incorrect or incomplete CPU details for AMD, and that AMD it's kind of AMD's fault for sending the wrong information, and that's why these are actually crashing. Now they've stopped, of course, the update to the AMD machines, as they will actually find a fix for that. Intel says that 90% of its processors that are made in the last 5 years will be fixed this week against the Meltdown Inspector bug, and that the remaining 10% will be fixed pretty much by the end of the month. The problem is those fixes are going to be on the firmware side, which means a lot of people won't install them. AMD has announced at CES that the second generation Ryzen CPUs are coming starting April this year. So that's kind of a very, very interesting. And as we were talking about the new AMD CPUs with Vega integrated graphics, what's very interesting is that they've almost not mentioned the Vega graphics at CES, almost as if they were kind of, with the first reports of kind of bad performance, they're kind of shy to talk about it. The 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics, Winter Olympics, coming up in February, are causing actually there's a lot of attacks against the websites and the different sponsors, and it's increasing in frequency. One of them is trying to pretend that it's from the terrorist security center at the Olympics that is trying to get the company's attentions. So as of now, nothing really happened, but they say that it's just to show how much there could be problems if people are not careful. A lot of it is done through all sorts of, kind of social engineering things, like, trying to lure you into getting in there, or, emails that will try to lure you into clicking something. Pretty amazing. And it's the first time apparently that there's so much hacking going on at a Olympic game. And the Intel world is a little, going crazy with all the problems with the CPU flaws. But still, Intel having lots of very, very big announcements at CES, basically. Demo de Loihi AI, a chip that kind of learns by itself. They say that this will be a very, very good chip to power AI devices. Also shown a 49 qubit quantum chip. So, will 2018 maybe be the year of quantum computing? Starts to look like it. And finally, we have a lot of rumors of the Samsung Galaxy 10. One big rumor that arrived is that the Samsung Galaxy 10 would arrive by December of this year, would have a 7.3 inch screen that will be foldable. Now that's kind of interesting, and I gotta say, a foldable screen, a foldable device, that could be kind of a very interesting item to get. And this was the tech news for Tuesday, January the 9th, 2018. Today is our live shows. We are returning with the live shows. We have the tech show at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2000 hours Universal Time. And we have the Insider show on the Windows Insider channel at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2200 hours Universal Time. So I hope you enjoy our videos and live shows. And thank you for following us on this channel.